Hello, this is the Cosmic Diva. This is my very first big video log. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a healer, a shaman. I've worked with many plant medicines that have been used throughout the centuries by the ancients. I do a lot of crystal healing, chakra tuning. I work with stones and just about any ancient knowledge or wisdom that has come to me either from the earth or through my meditations. I do a lot of work with stones in regards to the Akashic records and record keepers, which also hold memory and ignite the cellular memory into more awareness and knowledge of the things that have gone on throughout time, which helps me to discern in a more clear way at times. And I'm very grateful for all that. Today, I want to talk to you about our problems. Firstly, what affects one group, what affects one person in my world affects everyone. It affects all of us. Being someone who has overcome immense amounts of traumas, I mean, to the point that I feel like I must have asked for every possible trauma known to man outside of being in a car accident or something, just so I could fully understand the state of this world when I came into it. And it baffles the mind, but it's also made me extremely empathic to other people's pain, because when I hear of another's pain, it triggers the pain within me, and I can feel their experience through my own experience of that pain. And you know, we need to realize how we impact each other. One of the things Vipassana meditation also taught me was something very similar to that, and being in silence for 10 days, surrounded by 40 or 50 people, you're able to see all the different levels of communication, how we are exchanging energy, how when we are both all sitting there, 50 of us in a state of meditation, it helps to raise us to a higher level of meditation. And then to come out of that sphere and back into the world and seeing that you are this open channel and that you're actually absorbing everything around you. And one of the things we don't realize is a lot of our impressions of the world were fed to us. They are not our impressions. They were given to us by someone else. We were born into this reality as children, open and imaginative and confused, you know, curious actually, and confused. I think I would have been, I was very confused being born into this reality. But, you know, we are full of love and curiosity and, you know, fearless in a lot of ways. A lot of our fears and our hatreds and our beliefs, all of our beliefs of our reality, are handed to us, are given to us and conditioned into us. And we have to realize that we can recreate that. We don't have to believe the lies that have been fed to us. We can fully create a new perception of the world, and we don't realize how those lies have impacted what we receive from the world. Because our belief and our perception of the world is what creates our world. So, for example, when I was younger as a woman and I was used and my heart was broken all the time, I just thought everyone would use me and everyone would break my heart. And you can believe, as long as I believed that, everyone did use me and everyone did break my heart. And when I decided that, when I finally decided that people weren't so bad, that there were good people in the world, and that I could encounter loving and open and honest people that was when I started to actually meet loving and open and honest people. That is when people stopped using me. That's when people started to have deeper connections with me, and I was able to start seeing, you know, how that perception affects my reality. At one point I was told I was dying, and at the time I didn't have the time to die. I didn't have the time to feel sick. I didn't have the time to, so I didn't believe it. And in the end, I was not sick and not dying. But anytime I got depressed, or my energy level or my perception of the world became shrunken, I started to feel sick. And I started, because I had had this seed of death planted, maybe I'm dying, maybe it's finally coming for me, you know. And then I realized I was just disillusioned and depressed. And I was able to see that it was all in my head. And the thing is if I had believed it, I would have taken drugs that would have made me sick and caused me to die, essentially. So we need to definitely assess the lies that we believe about ourselves, about our reality, about our society. You know, yes, there is hatred in the world, but why do we give these people power? Why do we believe them? If I know these people have programmed us to feel inferior or whatever, but we don't have to believe them, you know, and we don't have to give them our power. You know, my whole childhood, I was raised around different people who were very negative and not very good for my self-awareness or my self-love or my self-esteem. It actually took me you know, I think something like 10 or 15 years to learn to love myself after an experience that only lasted for 4 years. You know, but that continued in varying ways. As a child, I was always ridiculed and picked on from school to wherever for many different reasons. You know, being poor, having bad teeth, whatever it was. And I gave those people my power, and it was when I realized that I was being controlled and that my life and my love of self were being affected by people who not only hurt me, but had no power or control, or even, they weren't even in my life anymore. You know, and when I was able to see that, I was able to take my power back. And I was able to say, you know what? You have no power over me. You don't have to believe it. No matter what they do to you, no matter how they try to break you, and believe me, they tried to break me and they tried to kill me. They literally tried to kill me. You don't have to believe them. Choose your own belief. Choose your own truth. If you don't want to die, don't believe them when they're telling you you're dying. When you don't believe them, you are telling the universe and your body that you refuse to succumb to a belief that belongs to someone else. It's someone else's belief. It's not yours. The belief that you are inferior, that's someone else's belief. It's definitely not my belief. Why is it your belief? Why are you giving these things power? We have to stop giving them power. We have to stop letting them destroy us. We have to stop letting them rule and run our lives. We have to come together, and we have to stop the madness. And I know that we can do it. But we won't be able to do it as long as we keep believing it and we keep turning it upon each other. You know, I am here as a conduit to help people process their troubles. I mean, I reach into the darkness and pull people out and help them dig in and find what's going on. And I take a lot of it on, you know, because I don't want to see the world in pain. And I know that your pain is my pain, and that these people all over the world who are being exploited and murdered and harmed, those are my people too. You are my people. This is our world.